Hey, Nick, let's go to the Western Conference here as well, because you have the Pelicans hosting the Spurs. So New Orleans now a 5.5-point favorite. How much do you like the idea of an upset tonight?
I like the idea of it. I don't know if we're going to see it. I mean, this is a game that I feel like I just don't have a good read on. Really, of the 4 playing games, it's the one that I think kind of makes the least sense to me. More and more, the more you dig into it, I am kind of leaning toward the Pelicans, and obviously the odds are leaning that way as well. But both of these teams were 10 games under 500 during the regular season. So there's not like a ton of hard data to point to that like one team is significantly better than the other. With that said, I think the Pelicans have more top-end talent. I think Brandon Ingram being cleared for this game and more importantly, logging a full practice yesterday, that's what I was mostly worried about. Like if the Pelicans were going into this game with Ingram questionable or potentially playing at like 75%, to me, that's a pretty big deal. But if he's back and he looks like himself, I think that's probably enough to push the Pelicans over the top. I mean, very quietly, New Orleans has been a top 10 offense and defense since the All-Star break.
Hey, Jules, you have a good read on this one?
I don't love this game either, but I echo most of what Nick said. It's a weird game. Like the Spurs were actively, not actively tanking, but the Spurs were tanking. Like they weren't playing their guys. DeJounte Murray didn't play until the last game of the season. They would have been fine with the Lakers getting the last play-in spot, but the Lakers stink so badly that they just handed it to the tanking Spurs, who are now here. Now you're here. You might as well, you're probably not going to win the game in LA on Friday night. So you might as well get your guys some playoff experience, some of those younger guys with the Spurs. Get them some experience and try and be, one of the lower end playoff seeds in the West next year. So it's just a weird path for the Spurs to be in this game. They were sellers at the deadline. The Pelicans were big buyers at the deadline. New Orleans should win this game. It's a lot of points to lay. Spurs are a pretty good bet as a dog. Spurs have been decent away. I can't lay the points again, but I do think the Pelicans win this game. So again, there's nothing I'm betting with much confidence tonight. If I were a casual bettor that looking to get, a little bit of action, I would consider a Hawks Pelicans money line parlay, just the 2 home favorites. I think they get through, but 5 to 5.5 points in each game is a little bit much for me.